Welcome back to Broken Electronics. It's really great that you could spend some time here. I'm Lee, and it's, like I say, it's great. The last video was supposed to showcase a number of OS 9 games. As I commented at the end of that, I started to edit it. It just got very, very, very long. So the breaking point seemed to be all of the games and then Oregon Trail. And, you know, this actually works pretty well. Because Oregon Trail, in of itself, is an iconic game. It's an educational game. Many, many, many people remember it so well just as a result of having played it as kids. Maybe played it in school. It's a history game about traveling the Oregon Trail. Now, you can get Oregon Trail on Macintosh Garden. That's where I get the copy that I generally use. Or Macintosh Repository, I believe, has it too. So it's certainly very much available out there. However, being the collector that I am, I picked this thing up. Since it's in a blue jewel case, I should open that up. Oregon Trail. Yeah, I bought the CD, version 1.2 CD-ROM for Windows or Macintosh. I just figured, yeah, I've never actually used it. I probably never will use it, but I just like to have things. You know, there it is. Now the interesting thing, I've mentioned a number of times I live in central Connecticut. I actually live in the wonderful city of Meriden, Connecticut. The seller, who was a guy in Arizona, included a note when he sent it to me. My dad is 95 years old. He was born in Meriden, Connecticut. Now, being that his dad is 95 years old, that probably puts him about my age. This is unlikely to have been his dad's, although it is entirely possible that his dad may have purchased this for him. Who knows? But in any event, I thought that was a cute little aside. So, yes, we're going to take a look now at the iconic Windows Macintosh educational Oregon Trail. And if you do want to take a look at that, please stay tuned. All right, and here we are at Oregon Trail. One of the nice things about Oregon Trail is it plays fine at millions of colors. I backed the resolution down a little bit. You know, I hate to sacrifice much more screen real estate. If you back it down quite a way, say 800 by 600, you get a much bigger game window. All right, it's an educational game where you do actually travel the Oregon Trail. Some information about it there. Now, need to give myself a name. How about Broken? All right, here are the 4 people in my party. Now, pick an occupation. Having been a teacher for quite a while, I started out doing that. Teachers are useless on the Oregon Trail. They don't get much money. They don't have a lot of skills to fix things. So my experience, doctor has some advantages because people do get sick a lot. You may have heard the dysentery thing. But I find either blacksmith or carpenter, I'm going to go with carpenter this time, gives you the best chance at repairing some of the issues that may come up. All right. Now, oxen. I'm going to go with 8 oxen. You don't really need that many, but oxen do have a tendency to get sick and die. 10 sets of clothing. Those come in handy later on. Boxes of bullets. I used to buy lots of bullets. I'm down to buying 60, and that's probably still more than I need. Wagon parts, wheels, axles, tongues. You generally, periodically on the way, you'll run across abandoned wagons, so you don't need to do that. And I'm going to start out with 400 pounds of food. Means I'm spending $490. It's going to leave me $310, and we do need some money as we go. Okay. Now, when are you going to start? I've been back and forth between March and April. Generally, I'm finding March, you want to make sure you get to Oregon before the winter time. You can encounter some weather issues starting in March, but I usually go with that. Okay, and we start out from Independence, Missouri. And here we are, traveling the trail. And we're going to come up to our first landmark. Come on. Okay, we've reached the Kansas River crossing. This guide thing from the historical import. The Kansas River is a tributary to the Missouri, approximately 170 miles long. It gives you some information you might need to know about that. So we do have to get across the river. We click continue, and you have three choices to attempt to ford the river: caulk the wagon and float it, take a ferry for $5. Remember, we're talking about the 1840s here. $5 was a lot of money, but that's usually the safest way. I have had the ferry capsize, but only once, really. Okay, we've made it across the river, and I notice our food is running a little low, so I'm going to hunt. Shot a deer. Ah, there's a buffalo. Can we get the buffalo? No, we can't get the buffalo. There's another buffalo. We got it. Now, you're going to find, as we stop hunting, that between the deer and the buffalo, 327 pounds of food. That's a fairly small bison, actually. But no matter how much you shoot, you can only carry 200 pounds back. Okay, so we're going to continue and come up to the next river. And we're at 450 pounds, which is more than we started with. And now we're at the Big Blue River. Our guide can tell us some information about it. We're going to continue. Now, they don't have a ferry here, so you can attempt to ford the river 4.5 feet deep. Personally, I think that's a little deep, so I'm going to try caulking the wagon and floating it. This doesn't always work, but it appears that this time we lucked out and made it across the river. Okay, on we go. And time to hunt again. One of the reasons I only buy the 400 pounds of food. Hunting is fun. Of course, buffaloes are just so easy to shoot. And that's a big one, 512 pounds. I hate leaving 312 pounds of food out there, but our big goal is to get to the Willamette Valley in Oregon. All right, off we go again. Oh, an ox wandered off. That's why the wagon's delayed. You can see that flashing over here. We'll wait and try to find. Haven't we found the ox? Got to be more careful with those oxen. All right, and we're coming up to a fort. Still got a good amount of food left, so. Now we're moving at a steady. We're at Fort Kearney. We can read about Fort Kearney and its importance. We've got 455 pounds of food. That's good. The health is good. And I always look at that. If health is good, I'll generally move right on. So on we go. Oh, an ox is sick. Oh, Lord. All right, now, the other thing that you can do when you're hunting, it gives a bit of rest. Well, not very much, because that buffalo just walked right into it. Now, look, I could kill more buffalo, but that would be pointless because you're shooting way more food than you actually need. And again, 304 pounds, that's a pretty small buffalo, but you've only used one bullet, and you get the 200 pounds back, so a little less wastage there. On we go. I always try to keep an eye on health. Oh, Zeke has a fever. That's unfortunate. We'll see if he gets better as we move along. And this one obviously is... Okay, Zeke got better again. That's a good thing. So far, we're in pretty good shape. Still 490 pounds of food. This is good. And we're coming up to another landmark. That looks like Chimney Rock. You can tell I've traveled the trail before, can't you? Yep, Chimney Rock, important landmark, etc., etc., etc. And we're still good on health. All right, now, I love playing this game. It's a lot of fun, but I can imagine it's not the most fun to watch. So I'm going to pause the video and play a little bit. We'll see what other kinds of highlights show up. So stay tuned. We've arrived at Fort Laramie. You may notice here Beth has a fever and the health is just fair. So I'm going to choose to take 3 days, may be a little much, to take 2 days of rest here. Okay, stay tuned. Boy, Zeke just broke his arm. It's the second time in a pretty short space that Zeke has had a broken arm. But I'm happy to say so far nobody has malaria or dysentery. Probably shouldn't say anything because I'm jinxing it. Okay. Independence Rock. Lots of food. Health is good. We're still in May. Let's forge ahead. Okay, stay tuned. All right, we're doing very, very well here, except Mary just got bit by a snake. It's about time to hunt anyway. That will give Mary a chance to rest. Boy, there's a lot of bison coming through. So, yeah, 456 pounds. Kind of wasteful. But our supplies are good. Health is good. So far, we're in really good shape. Okay, stay tuned. Oh no, Mary died of snake bite. Nothing we could do, I guess. And our health is still fair. But let's continue. I'm always happier to make it to Oregon with everybody well. Zeke is well anyway, that's something. Poor old Mary. Okay, where are we coming up to now? The Green River Crossing. Read about the Green River, tributary to the Colorado, so we're making progress. All right. Now, we're going to continue here. Another option for a ferry. Generally the easiest. That's why I try to make sure when I buy supplies first starting out that I leave some money. Okay, my friends, stay tuned. I'm hunting again. I'm curious to see. We're getting a little low on food. Shoot. Okay, now these I think are elk. I just shot 2 of them. That's going to be way too much food. Yeah, 560 pounds of food. 1 of them would have been sufficient. All right. But if you can't see buffalo, elk are the best bet because you waste a lot fewer bullets and you can get all the food you need. If you're shooting deer, you generally have to get 4 of them to get up to your 200 pounds of food. Okay, my friends, stay tuned. Well, we have no water and then bad water. Did find some wild fruit. But we're all coming up to Soda Springs. Oh dear, 3 oxen stolen from the wagon. That's distressing. But anyhow, what we're going to do here, I wonder if I can trade. Maybe just for 1 oxen. For 196 bullets. And we've got a goodly supply of bullets. So we're back up to 6 oxen anyway. And we're also going to rest for a couple of days. We've got a lot of food here. And I want to see if we can get our health back up. Okay. So stay tuned. Well, we've had snake bite, but I'm sorry to report John has dysentery. Here we are in June. We've come over 1,000 miles. And John died of dysentery. Oh no, we're 2 party members down. Ah, this is where I should have been a doctor. Okay, folks, stay tuned. Just so you know, I reached a fort. When you do stop at a fort, you have the option of buying more things. So I bought a couple more oxen to get us up to 8. I've traveled the trail with 6 oxen. It's not a problem, but what the heck, we had the money available. Okay, we're coming to another river. All right then. Come on, here we are. We're stopped. Still says we're moving. Come on. And it's still showing us the last place we're at. Okay, at least it got us moving again. Zeke was bitten by... I thought Zeke was dead. Oh, look at our status. Mary's deceased. No, it was John was deceased. So yeah, Zeke, we got to be worried about that. Okay, we've reached the Snake River crossing. We got to get over this river. Hire an Indian. The Indian guide has never failed me, and this is why I always buy extra sets of clothing, because the Indian guide wants 3 sets of clothing. Okay. Heavy fog. Got to wait for the heavy fog to break. And then, okay, this is why being a carpenter is handy, is you're able to fix it. All right, we got to hunt because we're going to run low on food. And yeah, here's where we're just not seeing a lot of game. Boy, of course, I got 1 bear, 2 bear, 3 bear. I think that's going to be enough. Yeah, that's more than enough. Okay, and Zeke is well again. That's a good thing. And we're back up over 400 pounds of food. Okay, I'm going to let it run for a while, so please stay tuned. Boy, I'm not having much luck here. Zeke is now sick and dead. So if we look at our status, we've got 3 deceased. It's down to Broken and Beth. Oh dear. Okay. And health is poor because Beth is suffering from exhaustion and has a broken arm. So good golly, we're going to rest for 4 days here because we got a lot of food. All right, stay tuned. I didn't even get time to do anything. Beth was bitten by a snake, and then she just died immediately of the snake bite. I am on my own. Oh dear. Stay tuned. Uh-oh. I was bitten by a snake. I hope I make it. I've never known how this is pronounced. The Dales, the Dalles, the Dallas. But looks like I'm getting there. Took the wrong trail, no! Come on, I need to get to this landmark so I can rest. No grass for the... Okay, broken as well again, so I guess that's something. And I don't need to worry so much about food because it's just me. But we're almost there. We're almost there. I am going to try to get my health a little bit better, rest for a couple days. All right, stay tuned. Okay, the rest is done. Health is still fair. Now, I've tried rafting down the river, which does get you there fast, but it is dangerous. The Barlow Toll Road is the way to go. We're not far from it now. And my health is back up to good. This is a good thing. All right. An ox wandered off. Well, I bought a couple of oxen back at the fort, so we're okay. Trail is impassable. Okay, but we're just about there. We'll bring you back when we get there. Stay tuned. Wonderful. I broke my arm again, but I can see the Willamette Valley. We're almost there. Now, seeing as how everybody died, I don't know as how this is a really successful expedition. I have any number of times made it where everybody could get there. And here we are. Yeah, my total score, 958. That's pretty pathetic. But I made it. Well, anyhow, Oregon Trail. It's actually a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a kid's educational game, but a very popular one, and a lot of people remember it and remember it very fondly to this day. Right? Okay, my friends. So that's a look at the macOS 9 games. I hope you've enjoyed the nostalgia of it all, and probably pretty much done with this machine, but we've got a lot more things coming up in the near future, so we can wind this video up. Be good to other people. Other people really deserve it, and they need it. Be good to yourselves. We can make this a better place if we try. Since it isn't yet, take very, very good and careful care in these most difficult times. We're going to be back. I've got some Pyrac G4 stuff coming up and a number of other things as well. So until those things do come up, this has been Broken Electronics.